Hi everyone, this is Saif. I'm excited to share a few highlights from our PSQuote Summer 25 release, which is now available for install. Before we jump into the demo, a quick reminder. Full release documentation is available at PSQuote.com under the support section. There, you will find detailed release notes with descriptions of all new features, enhancements, and fixes. Alright, let's start with a major enhancement. Automated contingency calculations. You can now include contingency based on a percentage of quote hours, cost, or revenue, either at the quote level, which applies to all lines, or at the quote line level for more granular control. Where this is set is determined by our contingency input level. This can be automated during implementation. For example, many customers choose to apply contingency only to fixed price lines while excluding time and materials lines. This can be automatically set by setting the percent to 0 for T&M lines and a custom value for fixed price. You'll also see a new contingency strategy field that controls how contingency is applied, whether as additional hours, cost, revenue, or any combination. If you set it to none, then no contingency is added. But if you set it to custom, then you can define your own logic at the quote line level. This too can be automated via business rules. All right, let's look at a simple scenario. We have two quote lines, one for a project manager and consultant with some travel, and another with a solutions architect and developer. With a 10% contingency applied at the quote level, you'll see a new contingency summary in our margin analysis bar. Contingency hours and dollars are applied only to roles or materials where exclude from contingency is unchecked. As I toggle the contingency strategy, the margin analysis dynamically updates to reflect the impact on hours, cost, and revenue. So you're always coding with full visibility into the financial impact. Next up, document generation just got a lot more powerful. In Spring 25, we introduced the ability to output to PDF alongside with Word and added Visualforce support for layout customization. That made it super easy to create polished internal summaries, customer-facing proposals, and even SOWs all from the same engine. Now in Summer 25, you can pull rich text directly into your documents using Salesforce flows that are configured by your Salesforce admin. So if you want dynamic terms, custom descriptions, or pre-written sections based on quote conditions, you can do that with no manual editing required. Let me show you how that looks. So here we are on our quote document section, and I will click this button, which will then pull out a list of flows that our admins have configured for the org. I will click inject quote info, and you can see that it injects some data into this document section. And lastly, we've made it easier to clone large, complex quotes. If you ever hit a Salesforce governor limit cloning quotes with hundreds of tasks, lines, or scheduled hours spanning multiple years, you'll love this. We've introduced batch clone mode. All you have to do is check off our batch clone related records, and PSQuote will handle cloning in a series of batch processes. You'll see live status updates as each batch completes until the entire quote is cloned. No more manual workarounds. That wraps up our highlight reel for Summer 25. Be sure to check out the full release notes for a complete list of updates. If you have any questions, want a deeper dive into any feature, or are ready to upgrade, reach out to your PSQuote account exec, or click Need Help on the documentation page to contact our support team at psqsupport@psquote.com. Thanks for watching.